before the world knew fear. The silence.
The north held its breath.
Then came the wind, carrying whispers of gods and war. Men forged by ice and hunger dreamt not of peace, but purpose. In the frozen valleys of Scandinavia, ambition burned brighter than flame. They prayed to Odin, to Thor, to the gods of storm and fate. And when the sea called, they answered. From forests of pine and ash, they shaped their dragons, swift as wind, silent as death. Each longship was a prayer in motion, carved in wood, answered by waves. They left behind families, fields, and frost, chasing a horizon they could not name. They swore oaths under gray skies to seek gold, glory, and the favor of the gods. A headwind, only fog and faith. Behind them, a land of legends. They did not know where fate would lead, only that the gods watched. Through the veil of mist, a new land rose view. Green Lindisfarne, the Holy Isle, a place of prayer, untouched by war. Ys hummed in sacred halls as the storm approached unseen. Then the North returned, not as traitors, but as thunder. Like phantoms, their dragon prongs cut through fog. The monks did not yet see death approaching. The sea delivered its sons to shore. History took its first breath. Their gaze held no mercy, only the hunger of men who believed in destiny. Then they ran. The calm broke. The storm arrived. The peace of centuries shattered in one heartbeat. Flames rose like prayers denied. Fear filled every breath. Men of peace met men of war, and faith was tested in blood. They came for gold, but took something greater: fear. Lindisfarne cried out, and the world heard. The sea took back what man destroyed as if to hide the shame of the living. Then came the sound, not thunder, not storm, but fear, carried
on the wind.
The storm broke upon the holy shore. Fire met faith, steel met skin, and from that one raid, kingdoms trembled. Fear spread faster than ships. From fire and salt, a new age was born. The age of the Vikings. In distant courts, kings trembled. None had seen such fury from the sea. The holy men prayed harder, for even their gods seemed silent. Far north, the warriors returned as legends. Gong gleamed, songs were born. The sky sang of thunder, of men who rode the wind like gods. They had tasted conquest, and the sea called again. From Ireland to France, whispers of sails haunted every horizon. They came not as one, but as a storm reborn, wave after way. Churches fell, treasures taken, prayers unanswered. Europe bled from its coasts. Among them rose chieftains who ruled no land, only the waves. Each raid drew a path dang, and those paths became maps of destiny.
From a single strike,
Came a tide, unstoppable. The North had awakened. In Francia, kings forged armies done, for the Northmen had crossed into empire. Even mightier Charlemagne feared the sea's shadow, the unknown warriors from the mist. Soon, flames touched Paris, Rouen, Bordeaux. The North claimed the rivers of kings. From the icy fjords to the sunlit coasts of Spain, their sails darkened every horizon. In fear, Europe adapted. Wood gave way to stone, prayer to steel. The first beacons rose Grenin, eyes watching the endless sea. Christ and Odin, light and storm, met upon the same soil. Not all came to destroy. Some stayed and sowed new roots. In Ireland, they built Dublin, once a raid camp, now a thriving north town. Cultures clashed, then mingled. The conqueror became neighbor. Gold flowed one way, ideas flowed the other. The Viking Age became the age of exchange. From raiders to rulers' says, they carved a new home in France, Normandy. Rollo, the Viking who bent knee to kings and founded dynasties that shaped Europe. From the ashes of fear rose architecture, language, law, gifts of those who once brought terror. Even the old gods faded as new faiths took root in northern hearts. Axes rusted, the storm quieted, and the gods of thunder grew silent. From the chaos they forged crowns. Denmark, Norway, the waves withdrew, but their echoes remained behind. In every harbor, every heart, the first raid had become a legend, and that legend, an age that would define the world. When the sails were gone, silence ruled the sea. But that silence carried echoes of change. Europe lay wounded found, its borders redrawn, its faith shaken, its kings humbled. The next generation spoke both tongues, born of conquest, raised in peace. From the chaos rose kings who united the tribes to Tubid, and the Viking blood flowed through their veins. Knut the Great Haut, the Viking who ruled both England and the North out, a conqueror turned emperor. For a moment in history, the sea itself was a kingdom, and its ruler, Viking born. Faith returned, tempered by fire, reshaped by survival. In many hearts, both gods lived, old thunder beside new light. Where fire once raged, they built. The North learned to create more than it destroyed. The sea remembered this. Every battle, every song, every ghost that sailed upon it. In monasteries once raided, monks began to write the stories of their conquerors. Thus began the written age Pine, where memory became myth and myth became history. The sagas grew, tales of gods, heroes, and storms that shaped the soul of the North. Their ships, called dragons, carried not just warriors, but the dreams of a restless people. The spirit of the wanderer never died. It simply sailed farther, beyond maps, beyond memory. Some sailed east to Rus and Byzantium, forging routes that connected two worlds. In the halls of Constantinople, they stood as the Varangian Guard, Vikings turned protectors of an empire. Their reach stretched beyond Europe, a web of trade, war, and legend. But still, some looked west, beyond the edge of the world. To them, the unknown was not fear, it was freedom. Centuries before Columbus, they reached Vinland, Viking, the land across the ocean. Here, the world felt endless growing, and the sky closer than ever before. But every wave must rest. The age of exploration slowed, and the Sargers grew quiet. The last sea kings came home fed, not to conquer, but to remember. Their memory stayed carved in stone, silent, unbroken, eternal. Even now, the fjords whisper their names, calling through mist and time. Their swords rest now in death, but every blade still tells the story of fire. 1,000 years later, their spirit survives, not in war, but in culture, art, and memory. The same sea that carried them still breathes today. Waiting for the next dreamer, the Viking Age ended, but its legend never did. It became history, and history became eternal. Time moves like the tide, slow, eternal, unbroken. The fires of the old world fade, but their warmth lingers in the bones of history. Every room still whispers stories of courage, faith, and fire. The North remembers all, those who fought, those who fell, and those who dream. Their blood runs still in the hearts of a people forged by wind and storm. From England to Iceland, from Rus to Normandy, their mark remains, carved in every shore. Kings, poets, warriors, they all carry fragments of that old northern fire. Their hunger for the unknown became our inheritance, to seek, to know, to wander. The old gods are silent, yet their colors still dance above our world. Stories, stronger than swords, they carry what time cannot destroy. If you listen closely, you can still hear the rhythm of the oars. Even in the silence of frozen lands, their presence lingers like breath in winter air. If you listen closely, you can still hear the rhythm of the oars. Their poets sang of gods and men hinds and gave voice to immortality. The gods may fade from stone, but their spirit still roams the wind. Today's warriors hold no swords. They build, create, and endure. But the same flame burns inside the Lara, the eternal will of the North. Sometimes, the past speaks softly, waiting for us to listen. And when the wind rises again, the North awakens. We are the new voyagers inside, sailing through history, through story, through time. The hand of fate writes in tides, and no man can erase its ink. The age of steel is gone, but a new age of knowledge begins. legacy is not blood or war, Usoni. It is the courage to remember. And now, the stories live through us. We are the keepers of their memory. And every creamer, every creator, every storm of will lay. The sea that began their story still carries it forever onward. The voice of the past speaks again through us. This is the return of the North, not by sword, but by story. From myth to empire, from blood to legend, this is where history breathes again. I am the echo of the North.